53, Awesome Radio, Facebook.
Awesome Radio YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce her. I believe we can hear her voice. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jamilla S. Robertson Johnson. How are you today once again?
I am doing amazing. That was a mouthful, wasn't it?
That was a whole bio right there. That's just enough to go see you. Not to mention some of the other guests that are going to be there. Anybody else that you want to recognize is going to be there? I think you might have mentioned the name. What could the participants look forward to hearing from others that might be speaking and engaging? Because I heard about that men's panel. We're going to get into that.
Yes. Well, Vernon, I am super excited about our third annual Sisters Let's Give Them Something to Talk About Women's Empowerment coming to Eastern North Carolina. Yes, I will be one of the speakers as well. And we do have a women's panel. We do have a men's panel. And we have the amazing Dr. Cheryl Pillow Williamson that'll be our keynote speaker. And uh, we have some entertainment. So we have the R&B sensation, the R&B legend, Sunshine Anderson that'll be performing, as well as the group Royalty. And so we are excited about what's getting ready to come to Eastern North Carolina in just a few days.
Just a few days, the countdown is on.
It is on and popping. Let me tell you, this count, I am nervous and excited. You know how a woman is at the end of her pregnancy term. She is still excited.
No, I wouldn't know
baby.
that. No, not
You may
personally,
not,
but yes,
you
I
may
do.
not.
I have
But
one son.
well, a woman is at the end of her pregnancy term is still excited, but she's feel those labor pains. So I realize that this is uh I'm ready to give birth to this vision. I am ready.
Outstanding. We've talked about sort of the foundation of it, and now we're live on social media. Thank you. If you have any comments you'd like to make, you can comment live, and she'll be able to address this. If you're watching the show at a later time and date, put your comments in. Once again, give the date, the time, and the location of the event.
It is Saturday, September the 16th. Saturday, September the 16th. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday at the Cahing Auditorium in Tarboro, North Carolina. Doors open up at 10 a.m. All the festivities, it will start at 11 a.m. And you did say I was military, so we do start on time.
On time, not CPT time.
That's right.
Maybe USA time.
We will start on time.
All right. Down to business. Let's start with your men's panel. This, I believe, is something that is wonderful. I've seen them throughout radio, you got podcasts going on. We have panels, and panels offer a great sample of people's lives, and you can sort of combine them together. The panel, the purpose, and the people composing of this panel. Tell us a little bit about the panel, if you will. This is top secret information, ladies and gentlemen. You're getting it straight from her.
We have the Bro Code, and the Bro Code production is a group of three gentlemen, and what they do is, I thought it was important that we hear a man's perspective. Although this is a women's event, I thought it was incredibly important that we hear a man's perspective out of everything that women go through, and especially those who are single or desire to be with a significant other, that they hear the man's perspective. We always assume things that are coming or things from our own perspective. So I thought it was important to incorporate the man's perspective. So these group of men are incredible young men that are coming, and they're going to just share their opinions and answer some questions from the audience. We're going to have a lot of audience participation because we don't want them to just sit there and receive. We want them to participate. And so the men will also open up the audience for questions and give their perspective on that end.
When you say women's conference, and if you mentioned you have the men's panel. When you say men and giving their perspective. Are men welcome to this, or is it
Oh,
just
absolutely.
women centered?
Absolutely. Men are welcome to attend. I don't want to be that closed off to just a particular, this is catered to women. But of course, we have men that'll be coming. We have men that'll be participating, of course. And so we don't want to be that closed minded where we just close it off to women. It is an event for everyone.
Wow. So we won't be having an argument about men celebrating on Mother's Day or women celebrating on Men Day,
No.
that type of thing. No, this is a joint venture. Men are welcome. It is a person centered women's event, but men are welcome to come. And so, on that note, there is likely, not necessarily working this hypothetical thing, a man that says, "Oh, my wife is going," and maybe she's going there just to get her head filled with a lot of assertive things that might empower her. But how? And so he's feeling sort of left out. Let me go ahead and spit it out. He's feeling sort of like this is something special for her, and she might come back and maybe weaponize some of her newfound emotions, advancing herself towards the future without him. Or is there a way that you guys will be delivering a message that's inclusive of the institution of marriage and relationship so that a woman won't feel, and then if she does need to feel empowered in that way, then yes.
Oh, absolutely. We hope and pray that this will be all inclusive and this will be empowering, uplifting, and any information that the women receive will only further and enhance what they already have going on, their relationships themselves first, and the relationships, their careers, and anything that they have going on. We hope and pray that this only helps and enhances the women's, and that'll be in participation, that'll be in attendance. We don't, definitely not going to male bash. Now we want to celebrate. We're celebrating the women. We want to celebrate the men. We want to celebrate everyone. This is all about celebration and inspiration. And so, if women have significant others, then we want them to be better in their relationships. We don't want to hinder anybody or tell, or definitely not tell anybody that they are, need to get out of, unless it's something dangerous or toxic. Then that is a whole different talk show right there. But this is all about encouragement. This is all about celebration and uplifting.
So if the husband feel like he has just got to go and he's feeling a little insecure, then I believe I'm just going to give my answer. If he understands what the conference is about, and if he just wants to go for insecure reasons as to where she's going and what she's doing, and she's going to come back and want to enroll in college, and she getting ready to get called to the ministry in 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes that she's there and gets hands laid on her, I don't think you should go, men, just to spy. I don't think you should go just to hate or just to see what's going on. Even though you have just heard it that you are welcome, this is women's empowerment. But I'm glad she was able to address that. She said the word inclusive, that includes you. One more thing about the men and just us being outside and supporting this. Note, I said supporting, not hating. I've transitioned. Men nowadays need a lot of mental health care.
Absolutely.
In your conference, is there a way that you're going to highlight the mental health needs of both male and men and women, but especially you coming back home? Now, I'm going to give a scenario. A lady coming back home all fired up, got the word of God coming out of her ears, her eyes, her mouth, her feet. She's coming home and she's going to sit down and want to share with her family what just happened. And somebody's going to try to be like, well, I don't want to hear that right now. Somebody might try to put that light out, or just their non-responsive person, husband, significant other. Yeah, okay, I'm glad you had a good time. What you cooking tonight? Where are we at with this aspect of the man and the person may not be there that is a large part of this woman's life?
I want women to understand that they have to be at the top of their own list first. And whatever someone brings relationship wise should be the gravy on top. I like my mashed potatoes plain sometimes. And if I'm the mashed potatoes, then anything that my husband or if you're whatever relationship you're in, your significant other, they should be the gravy to your mashed potatoes. That
Oh
means
wow.
that means you should already be good. So I am looking for women, and I normally cater to women and hope and pray that they put themselves back into the top of the list first. Now, if they are not getting the support or they don't feel supported, then that is something along another realm that they may need to seek out the why as to that. Why is that happening? And why is there no support on that end? That is another avenue that they need to seek out as far as their relationship. But I always try to let women know that you always need to be at the top of your own list first. So if no one supports you, you got to support yourself. If no one is catering to you, you got to cater to yourself. And so many times we have been everything to everybody else. This is time for us to be a little selfish, if you may, and say that we want to put ourselves back to the top of the list. We need to be all that we could be for ourselves. So those who are dependent on us, the husband, the children, the job, once whoever's dependent on us, then if we take care of ourselves and have this self-care and this self-worth and self-identity and understand exactly who we are, then we can be everything to everybody else. But if we're looking at it like to prove something to somebody else, that's the wrong motive from the beginning.
What is we're on national radio? They can see this show worldwide, so there's no reason why I shouldn't ask questions on that level. What's the greatest challenge facing a woman in her identity today?
Just excuse me, not understanding what they were created, who they were created to be. A lot of women are just don't understand how beautiful they are regardless of outward. And I think we had this discussion before that I always like to target the internal. See, if you target the internal, then it will show externally. So this is all about your heart and understanding that your emotions are a part of who you are, but it's not all that make you up. If you understand what I'm saying, it's not all about uh feelings. You could be happy, you could be angry, you could be sad, you could be disappointed, but those are emotions. I want to to help women seek internal joy. You see, I could be sad but I still have joy.
Mm.
I can be disappointed but still have joy. And see, that's an internal thing. And if you deal with the internal, then you can pretty much know that the internal thing, regardless of what I'm facing right now, externally or around me, my surroundings, whatever I'm facing, I still have joy. So if women come to an understanding that they still have joy regardless of every situation, regardless of every circumstance, regardless of what they face in life, if they understand that I still have joy, then that helps them to better identify with who they are and identify with whose they are. And then they can have a clearer understanding that everything else will fall into place.
Who is including your guest speakers, who is the cage rattler? Who is the one that's going to get? And if this was a men's group, I could tell you I would be one of them.
Mm.
But who is the cage rattler that's going to get up in front and center of the woman's face and say, it's time to take out the trash? It's time to renew, or it's time to is that you?
I think I'm gonna set the tone for it. That's kind of you want to be firm, but you want to do it in a loving way. But our keynote speaker, she is absolutely amazing and phenomenal. And so I'm 48. And so my thing is now I may not have 48 more years left on this side of heaven. So I am that forward person, but I do it in love. And I always say, I love you, right? But it's
Oh boy.
just some things that we just got to get down to the nitty gritty. And that's what I want women to understand, that we are in our last days. I don't care how old you are.
Mm.
We're in the last days here on this side of heaven. And if there are some things that you want to accomplish and achieve while you are still here, then what is stopping you from achieving these goals and these dreams? And I was a queen procrastinator. I was terrible at procrastination. And so this is why, now that I've been broke free from that now I feel like is one of my assignments, is to help women to break free from this procrastination and doubt and fear, because that is a lot of what hinders. And we know that all that negative stuff comes from the devil. And so we want to make sure that women have a clear conscience and a clear mindset. And that's if you're dealing with the internal, you're dealing with the mind. And so that is one thing that we really want to be sure that we're focusing on, and dealing with the mind and the heart. And yes, you're beautiful, but the beauty starts internally.
What about the physical body? There is, I'm headed towards the family in just a moment. What does the conference offer as far as, your appearance, uh, your swag? I mean, I was next to satellite TV or cable TV, whatever they call it, this past weekend, and I saw the Atlanta Housewives show still on, and then I'm just channel surfing because I don't get to watch this type of TV very often, and I'm just seeing all, and I see an image of women after a while, and then I'll see a sitcom come on, and I'll see an image, especially in the African American, I'll see an image that sort of a tones that's sort of been set, a look, even in some of the ghetto stuff I heard in the language. How does this conference, if you want to share it, come out with either a remade woman or a woman that wants to find out how to dress or some mechanics, or is this all done just by y'all being together?
Well, beauty is internal. Again, beauty is internal. And I always say healthy is the new sexy. So
Okay.
if you're living a healthy life, it doesn't matter if you're 2 or 22. If you are healthy, and then I society and social media and things kind of get us bogged down into what image should be. I don't get caught up in what image should be. If I love me, then if you don't love me the way I am right now, then that is a problem that you have. What is your insecurity? And so a lot of people are trying to break free from this stereotype. A lot of people are trying to break free. And so we just want to offer the tools to help these women break free, to know that you are loved, that you are accepted, that you are beautiful just the way you are, whether you are a 22 or a size 2. That doesn't matter. It should not matter. I know a lot of people place a lot of emphasis on it, but we got to get past those things and know that I am loved. I am enough just the way I am. Now,
Amen.
the things that I want to change, because if I need to lose a few pounds because this is going to make me healthier, then that's on me. I want to be healthy because my husband depends on me. My children depend on me. I want to live to see grandchildren. And so if losing a few pounds helps along those lines, then I'm all for it. But or in that nature, in that aspect. And so I don't encourage women to try to uh, compare themselves to what society is deemed normal. I want us to get past that.
As a coach, I got to coach this moment here because you done said it a couple of times. As a man depend on a woman. Now I'm gonna twist it just a little bit. I knew what you were talking about, but I'm gonna turn it into a legitimate issue. Should a man depend on a woman? If he's following God's calling, he's in that zone. Should a man depend on a woman as far as dependence? 100%. I don't mean. How do you feel about that? Just hit that subject. I know it's off the cuff.
Yeah. Well, dependency, I think we all should be dependent on God.
Amen. Amen.
I think we all should be dependent on God, and so there is a level of dependency that the man has with the wife. There's a level of dependency that the wife has with the husband. I think there is I don't believe in the man take care of the out and the woman take care of the in. Whatever works for your household is what you go with, but there is a level of dependency on each, or not 100%, but there is a level of dependency that there should be, because at the end of the day, all we got is our word. And so we want to be sure that we are firm on what we say we're going to do. That goes both ways.
I got some imaginary fans out there that's trying to say, Vernon is trying to get you to say whether the man is the head of the household or not.
The man is the head.
Okay.
My
Hey,
king
that's
is
your
the head of
opinion.
my house. My king is the head of my house. Now I don't know what works for nobody else, but my husband is the head of the house. And that's the order. That's how I feel the order of God. And again, this is my opinion, and this is what I believe, and this is what I stand firm on. So that's the order of God for me. The man is the head, but the woman is the helpmeet. And so there is a level of dependency that happens when it takes place when it is, a man and a woman together as one.
Clearly, and spoken very well without any type of shade, if you will, towards the men. I know we have a position now, whether we are trained well, qualified, underqualified, overqualified, perform the position well. That's another subject. But thank you, and for addressing that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give them something to talk about. Sisters, let's give them something to talk about. Correct that. Women's Empowerment, Kean Auditorium, Tarboro, North Carolina, on the campus of Edgecombe Community College. Doors open at 10 a.m. Festivities begin at 11 a.m. Vendors are welcome. Food trucks are welcome. Wow. Get ready for a day of celebration, empowerment, inspiration, motivation, food, music, fun for all of our beautiful sisters. Saturday, September the 16th. What about the VIP club? What's going on with that? I see the label. Is there such a thing? Or is that decoration?
No, we have a designated VIP lounge that at the intermission, if you have a VIP ticket, you would get a meet and greet with our keynote speaker, and you will have refreshments. You'll have, we may incorporate some mimosas in there, and so
what's that?
A little brunch champagne drink.
Oh, okay.
Ladies,
yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be
So,
I already know that.
So
wow.
You get a VIP. The VIPs get a swag bag. They get, some VIPs have purchased shirts.
Right.
And so, if you a VIP, we want to treat you like the VIP you are. You get up close and personal seating. And like I said, you get the meet and greet with Dr. Cheryl Polo Williamson herself in the VIP lounge. So we're excited about that.
Wow. Absolutely
And we
wonderful.
only got a few VIP. Now, like I said, the auditorium holds 1,000 people. So we only designated 200 VIP tickets. And so we're almost sold out on the VIP.
Almost sold out on the VIP?
Yes, I'm excited about that.
Wow. So it's going to be, when what part of this would be on social media? Just would it be broad? It won't be broadcast live on
not. We this is our third one, so we like everything, it has to go and grow. So we're still trying to iron out all the kinks so we can get it possibly live next year.
Right. Okay. Well, let's get back into we got about 16 minutes. Let's go back into some content. When it comes to the family and the mom of the little girls that are growing up, watching mom, what type of will the conference address the family, mother, and children and raising? Will it directly address that?
Yes, because I'm a firm believer, although I'm a minister of the gospel, I am a firm believer that ministry starts at home first. And so it's important that we set the example. And it's not too late. I know many of us did not grow up in favorable households. I know I was one to grow up without a father. I was one to grow up with a mom that was sick. She was diagnosed as bipolar, and I lost my mom at 15 from breast cancer.
Oh no.
So I understand that my situation was not favorable as to what society deems normal. And so, therefore, it doesn't matter where we are or where we came from. What's important is that where we are now is that we can change the dynamics of and be the example to our younger generation. We can be the example to the young girls that are coming up behind them. And so, therefore, if we started at home, we don't have to worry about what they're going to, if we lay the foundation at the house, we don't have to worry about how they're going to act when they get out in the street, or they can better understand and know what's acceptable way to be treated as the queen and the woman that they are growing up to become.
All right, got a couple more good questions for you.
Come on.
All right, all right,
Coach
all right.
Vernon.
I'm gonna tighten this one up right here.
Come on.
Single moms, the ones that say I don't need a man, the ones that say I can raise my boy to be a man, or I'm not trying to step in anything there, but I know the conference is likely to address this. And what say you on that matter, if you will?
Well, to each his own on that. I was one to desire. I was a single mom for quite some time. This is the marriage that I'm in now is my second marriage. And so I was married and for 13 years. But when I realized that that was not the avenue that I would needed to continue on and release that marriage, then I became a single parent. And so I understand that it is hard as a single parent. I raised a young man and a young lady. And so I understand that that's tough to be a single mom. You have to be all to your children. But if your desire is to be married, then that is your desire. But if your desire is that you don't need a man, then that is your desire as well. But I want to address all women, regardless of the situation that they're in, that they can be all and be all that they need to be whenever they need to be it, and be great at whatever it is that you choose to do, whether it be a career oriented woman, whether it be an entrepreneur, whether you choose to work and retire, whatever you choose to do, however you choose to be it, I want you to be great at it.
Whew. All right, I got to step in this water.
Come on.
I might get in trouble, y'all.
Excuse me.
Gender, LBGT, welcome to come out.
We don't discriminate. God is love. God is love. Who am I? I don't have nowhere to put nobody. I don't have a heaven to put nobody. I don't have a hell to put nobody. And so I always say sin is sin. It doesn't matter if you're male, female, young or old. But I probably won't get into the LGBTQ community because that's not my platform. However, I'm not going to discriminate against anybody who is part of that community. I dare not, because I love everybody. I dare not say that I love God and not love my fellow brothers and sisters regardless. I will not. I will not judge. So this is all inclusive. This event is all inclusive. You may hear us talk about men and women as far as couples. Yes, that's what I stand on. But to each his own. I'm not in it. I'm only in my household. I'm not in anybody else's household.
Just smooth with them answers over there. All right, how about this one? I recall hearing a little bit about getting married when I was growing up. But is there a sort of an assertive position that should happen in the church and in our families to get married, to make that a part of a dream of a little girl, or is it still the dream of a little girl to find a king, a knight in shining armor? I see it's if you look at the reality TV and you hear people talking on social media, it's like everybody's feeling like they got a choice. They got to pick that person. They got to. I do believe God saying in the word saying than a man finding a woman. But you got a choice now. Restaurants, movies, the power of choice is extraordinary. Should we have a pressure, a campaign, an initiative on just getting married, and that's how we want our society to run through? Or is it going to just be choice? If you want to get married, get married. If you don't, it might work just y'all not being married.
Well, I believe in the power of choice. And I believe that if it's your desire, we serve a God that gives your heart desire. So if your desire, I desire to have a husband, I desire to be married. My first marriage didn't work out. And when I saw that it did not and let it go, then I said, okay, I had to dismiss that. But I also took some time to get myself together and had to heal. And that's what I was talking about, the internal work. And so, but at the end of the day, I desire to get married. There are people who desire not to be married or desire not to have children. That's their preference. But I believe in the power of choice. I believe in the power of you choose, because you have to live your life. When we stand before God at the end of our day, we stand alone. And so you may have some consequences to the choices that you make. I used to be a trainer, and one of the strict rules that they enforced was no sleeping in training. And so, as I used to tell them, as long as you sleep, you got a job. When you wake up, then you that's when I had to terminate them. And I did not want to do the termination piece. And so I used to ask them, can you sleep on the job? And they used to say no. I said, you can do whatever you want to do, but you have to understand that there are consequences to our actions, whether it be good or bad. So to each his own. But if you choose wrong, then you know that you have to deal with maybe some unfavorable consequences.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, some wisdom coming over the airways. A preliminary message before the conference on September the 16th. That is a Saturday. Okay, put that in your head. I know I have to line things up. Doors open at 10 a.m. Doors open at 10 a.m. You should be getting ready at 8. You should be, if you got an hour to travel, you should be there at 9. Get in and get a good seat. That's the kind of time I'm talking about. Don't be focusing on 10 a.m. Get there, get you a good seat to where you can feel comfortable. Sit where you used to sit at your old church or at your church, that same angle, no doubts. When will you be speaking?
Oh, I'm gonna be at the beginning. So we have an itinerary because I want to go ahead and set the tone and get on out the way because as the visionary you all over the place.
Mhm.
And so I can briefly say that we have our mistress ceremony, which is going to be the lovely and beautiful Miss United World 2023 Vera Morris, who's going to be the MC for the day, and then she will introduce me as the visionary, and I'm going to give a few moments of wisdom. And now I normally, this is our third year, but I normally have some inspirational gospel or something to open us up. So we did not have that in the itinerary. So we got a nice little surprise from the visionary this year.
Oh, wow. All right. Any other talking points you want to mention? We got about 7 minutes. Any other thoughts you want to put out there?
I just want the women of our community to understand that it is time for us to break free. It's time for us to get unstuck. It's time for us to be all that we or have been ordained and called to be. And it doesn't matter what that looks like to us individually, but it's time to get there. And if we are there, it's time to help others get there. That once God helped me, and all understand that all of this will always be a process. The healing, the deliverance, the breaking free. And so the fight is to get to the place of peace. The fight is to always to be in a place of peace and, as we say, happy. But once you get there, the fight is to stay there. And so we're constantly going to be in a fight. But this is why this women's empowerment is important, is because my call is to help women break free if you're not free. And if you are free, then to help you stay free.
When you said that word happy, that gave me a thought. It's, God plays tricks on me. What I mean is he don't play tricks on me. I just got one thought in my mind of how it's supposed to happen, and it happens another way. And so when I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about something, let's say I think about maybe I'm lonely or something. Do you know that translates over after about 10 minutes? I'll be like, this is so peaceful. What was I talking about a few minutes ago?
Right.
This is so peaceful. I'm like, I don't have any issues that I'm worried about. I can think of a few things that I'm playing defense on, and just a couple that I might be playing offense on. But I believe I'm winning. And so when I think about how the trickery works for me, it's in my mind what peace is and in the position in my life. And so I believe, ladies and gentlemen, this young lady has some word for you. And
that's the mashed potatoes I was talking about. So you're good by yourself.
See,
Whenever you get your significant other, that's gonna be the gravy on top.
You think so?
That's it.
Oh wow, I love some gravy now. I could go with the butter. I could go with a little seasoning on mashed potatoes. I could do that, but if you give me the gravy,
hey,
whew.
but your mashed potatoes good right now by itself, right?
Yes, they are. They
Okay,
are.
good.
They are. I'll take that. How about that analogy, ladies and gentlemen? You can visualize the mashed potatoes is all right, just like they are. No need to feel inadequate. But if you have some thoughts and you need prayer, would there be prayer and deliverance at the conference if a person is seeking that?
Well, not during any stage time, but yes,
Okay.
we will have. Part of my team are intercessors, so if you see anybody, we will be in uniform. If you see anybody and you're having some difficulties and just want to bring one of them to the side, yes, we will have people a part of the team, but it won't be. This is an inspirational event, but it's not like a church event.
Y'all might have to pull me to the side. Let's see if we got a caller. Caller, you in the air?
Coach Vernon, Garrison, this is Dr. Johnson. I just want to call in before you end the broadcast.
Yes, sir.
To say that it was a very inspirational, motivational topic, and the young lady is very strong. And I am praying for her and her family.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Dr. Johnson.
A wonderful broadcast. Wonderful.
That's
blessings
incredible.
to you both.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, Dr. Johnson. Well, that was wonderful. You inspired somebody to call, and it was a guy.
And look at God.
Man, we're gonna get together. We're gonna bum rush the place, and
we welcome it. We welcome it because I'm sure it'll be plenty of single women here.
Okay, that's a setup. The guys, just don't go. Just hold on now. Hold on. And somebody was trying to tell me about some marry me cake the other day, and it went along for a moment, and we were talking about desserts, and I'm like, wait a minute, y'all say marry me cake? Do you really think I'm gonna eat that right there?
That's the setup.
I know, right? 2 minutes. How do you want to be remembered for the work that you've done so far? Not that you're going anywhere. You ain't going nowhere, but going nowhere, take a minute and tell us, what you want to do.
I want to be remembered as a life changer. I want to be remembered as a servant. I want to be remembered as someone that people could look at and be inspired. And they ain't got to be like me and be better than me. But you always say, look at people as an inspiration, not imitation or duplication. But look at people as an inspiration. I hope people can look at me as an inspiration and say, like, if you done it for her, because I only shared a little nugget about the things I've been through, and I'll probably share more on the stage. But if you could look at me and say, God, I know if you done it for her, you can do it for me. So that's how I want to be remembered. And it's all about legacy, and legacy is not always about what how much money you leave behind. It's about how you lived your life and how what you did can be carried on for the rest of somebody else's life. So I hope and pray long after I'm gone, if Jesus ain't came back first, that this right here will outlive me.
Wow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 45 seconds. Once again, we'd like to invite you Saturday, September the 16th. Sisters, let's give them something to talk about women's empowerment. Kenyon Auditorium, Tarboro, North Carolina, on the campus of Edgecombe Community College. Ladies and gentlemen, doors open at 10 a.m. Festivities begin at 11. One more quick word. 19 seconds.
Do something today that matters. One, to God, two, to yourself. And by all means, keep giving them something to talk about.
Wow. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, we love you here at Awesome Radio, WBISLP 106.9 FM. Thank you for joining us.
Get ready for a day of celebration, empowerment, inspiration, motivation, food, fun, and music.